This is Adam King from Aliens Don't Ring Doorbells, and you're listening to Madness to Creation.
Go ahead, say it.
Welcome to the Madness to Creation podcast, where self-care and music merge. I want to bring up in this podcast that part of our mental health is just laughter and humor and reconnecting with an old friend. And on that note, I had a very fun, interesting conversation and also catch up on life with TikTok influencer and high school, not classmate, but what do you call it when she graduated the year before you? I went to high school with her, MARCI WHITEHURST, and she lives out in Illinois with her fiance Ryan Frericks, and they have a business called Edgehill Designs, which is a great business which turns in your house into a home, custom carpentry, home renovation, and more. And email them at Edgehill Designs LLC at gmail.com, or also call them at 808-628-0199 if you're interested in some awesome handiwork by Edgehill Designs. And we talked about her comedy, we talked about TikTok and how she is an influencer and stuff like that, and also how she got linked up with my high school crush known as Jenny McCarthy, and I will forever be jealous of her for that. And I swear, if like MARCI and Jenny invite me out and I get to meet Jenny McCarthy, I might just die. I will die a happy man. Because I remember drooling over her like Homer Simpson when Singled Out on MTV was on and all that. So, anyways, this was just an awesome and fun conversation. And check out MARCI WHITEHURST at TikTok, and her videos are hilarious. Picture this, an attractive woman that is just really cool. And not only that, but mainly her jokes are about wieners and farts. And she is incredibly gifted. She gives some secrets to TikTok as well. So you might want to listen into this one, and you can become a TikTok influencer too after you listen to this episode. And follow us on the Madness to Creation podcast on Spotify, Spreaker, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Geo7, Podchaser, Podcast Addict, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. And also follow us on social media at Madness to Creation on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. And also on Twitter, MTC Madness. Without further delay, here's my conversation with my friend, and yours now, MARCI WHITEHURST. Take it away, MARCI. Welcome to the Madness to Creation podcast. This is Maddie. How are you? Madness to Creation is where self-care and music merge. And here I have with me TikTok sensation and future comedian MARCI WHITEHURST. And the reason why I brought MARCI WHITEHURST on is because, first of all, she's a friend of mine. And secondly, I'm absolutely inspired by her Fill the Drawers campaign that she started. And we're going to be talking about that along with mental health. So, MARCI, how you doing?
I'm good. How's it going? Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday to you and yours. And it's going pretty good. Just kind of ready for the weekend. And I shouldn't say that because I'm on spring break right now, but kind of chilling right now. And how are you and Ryan doing, like, with the pandemic and all that?
It's been good with our business and stuff. We own our own business, Edgehill Designs, here in Illinois. And at first it was hard staying home just because our livelihood is being in people's homes. And so we had to take a lot of precaution, putting up a bunch of plastic tents almost as a barrier between us and the clients and like where we can go in their house and stuff. But it's actually been really good for us because people are spending so much time in their homes. So they're noticing a lot more of the things that they don't like about their homes. A lot of people need home offices now. So 2020, we were extremely busy, it was our busiest year. So it was wild just because, you don't have that normalcy of being able to go have lunch and see your friends and your family and travel. So it's been tricky, but it's brought us closer and it's grown our business. So it's hard to complain, but seeing everybody else and how it's affected everybody else on a completely different levels, it's hard to watch. So.
Yeah. So what part of Illinois is it just kind of local business, or is it kind of, is it going to branch out into like other branches or whatever?
No, right now it's Illinois. We're in the suburbs of Chicago. We're about 40 minutes west of the city. We're in Bolingbrook. So we're around Bolingbrook and Plainfield, Naperville, just the neighboring towns around here. So hopefully one day soon we'll have our own shop rather than our 2-stall garage. So
that would be awesome. And so that is your vision, basically, having the shop and everything like that.
Yeah, we're starting to hire. We have a small crew now, so it's not just Ryan and I doing all of the physical hard labor.
Hey.
Ryan got his general contracting license, so he's a general contractor. So he's trying to distribute all of that work so we can bring on more projects at once rather than doing, one bathroom remodel. And then once that's done, working on, something else. We have 3 or 4 projects going right now. So
that is absolutely amazing, especially considering a time where like so many businesses were unfortunately closed their doors and stuff like that because of the pandemic. And how did you and Ryan kind of put your head together, so to speak, and made an opportunity out of something that is kind of shitty, like in terms of the stuff?
The crazy thing is that we didn't have this plan for Edgehill Designs. We bought, when we moved to Illinois, it was because of Ryan's job at Macy's, and we bought our house, and almost a year to the day that we bought our house, he was laid off from his job at Macy's of 11 years. And I was working, I had just gotten a job. I went in for my 6-month review 3 days after he was laid off, and I was laid off. Wow. So we were both unemployed in the same week. And this was in 2017. So this was before the pandemic. This was before any of this had happened. So when we bought our house, we had just slowly started making our own furniture for our house, our dining room table, this clock feature. So it just kind of grew that way, where people at his job, people at my job, they saw what we were building. And my friend Kelly, she had said, would you guys want to build my husband a bar for Father's Day? And I was like, I don't even know if we could do that. Like, I don't know what we're even capable. Like, I'm just used to tagging along with what Ryan's building and painting and staining stuff. But yeah, so we built a bar, and then it just snowballed after that. So when we were laid off, I was a mess. And he had said, listen, I got a severance package from Macy's, so we're good for the next 6 months. He's like, this is our opportunity. If we want, we can make this business whatever we want. And, I'm crying. I just gotten home from being laid off, and I'm crying. And he's like, I'm not even upset about this. He's like, can you imagine having to go to work every day at a job that you're not really happy at? And here I am sleeping in every day, building things in the garage. And he was like, this is going to be great. He's like, let's make the best of this. He's like, do you want to go bowling? So I was like, okay. So we were both laid off in the same week, and we decided to go bowling that day and we called it the best summer ever. And we went to as many concerts as we could, still had slowly started making this business. And then 2018, the beginning of 2018 is when we said, all right, this is it. We don't even have time to look for other jobs. We just, it was word of mouth, and things got rolling so quick. And now we've got a whole crew. So, the pandemic, it was hard because we like to be engaged with the clients' kids and their pets, and, we've got another project, come up to my bedroom and, see what I got here. So we wore masks. We were safe. We made sure, we weren't in any houses that did get affected by the pandemic until they were completely, recovered. But we've been lucky. I think that, with the business, I don't know, with the pandemic, which just everybody's seeing what they want in their new baseboards. They want their walls painted. I'm tired of looking at this ugly shit in my house. Come get it fixed for me. So it's been a blessing, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. And what is the coolest thing that you have designed for somebody that you've been I want you to brag about yourself and just be like, oh shit, I designed this myself. I'm so proud of it,
Well, I don't know. We did one of those river tables you remember Trent from high school, Trent Tenhouse?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
He was in our grade. He lives here in the city, and Ryan built him one of those. It was Ryan, what kind of wood was that for Trent's table? Sorry.
You're good.
Cherry wood. But then he did the black river down the middle of it with the epoxy and the resin. So that was pretty cool. We've never done anything else like that before. But we've completely finished our friend's basement, from framing in the walls to drywall, paint. We sprayed the ceiling black. We built them a bar. We had a little kitchenette area. We did a theater area, a big fireplace feature wall in the basement with an electric fireplace with a pool table, and I did a bathroom down there. So it was basically a whole nother house almost. So that was pretty cool. You go down there and you're just we did this. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
but
each project is different. A lot of our clients know what they want.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of women do Pinterest, and they have all these pages of what they want. And, they just kind of go through the checklist. Okay, I want this. I don't want it to look exactly the same, maybe a different style, or, it's fun being able to tweak those things and make them your own. And these women have really good taste too. So it makes it really easy.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. And it is so cool how you and Ryan have taken something and just grown into this business. How are you guys not on HGTV or anything like that?
I would die.
You would die?
I would die if we ever got on HGTV. My client, we redid their kitchen recently, a really modern kitchen.
Sure.
And the whole kitchen was gutted, and we were putting in all new cabinets in her kitchen, new island and stuff like that. And she had a candle lit where her kitchen sink would be. And we're walking around, our countertop guy is there, and we're doing measurements, and we're talking with the kids, and we're all kind of rotating around this island, making sure okay, measurements are right, and the countertop is going to be this and this, and it's exactly what she wants. I knew the candle was there. I have super long hair, and I lean up against where the sink would be. And all of a sudden you just hear,
oh my God.
And me, cause I'm a little slow and ditzy sometimes, me in my head, I thought the kitchen water was running. The kitchen sink water was running. And so I went to turn around to look, and in my head, quick split second, I'm like, oh, there's no sink. So I turn back around and I lean back up against the candle again. And all of a sudden the client is looking at me, and her and Ryan say at the same time, holy shit, your hair's on fire. And there was no damage. I I literally like threw my
There's no damage?
off. No, there was like zero damage. I didn't notice any damage. But they said that there was flames climbing up my back, like over my head. So it must have just been like, you know, the wild hairs that stick out or something. I don't know, but her reaction was, this is why you need your own TV show.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. Like, first of all, like before we get into like your TV show in the form of TikTok, where can people like get in contact with you for a project for Edgehill Designs?
So you can email us at Edgehill Designs LLC at gmail.com. We are also on Instagram, Edgehill Designs LLC. We're on Facebook, Edgehill Designs LLC. And yeah.
Awesome. And I am going to type that in as we speak so you get a follow.
Cool.
Yeah, because like I'm envisioning with this podcast, my goal in 2 years is to have like living room concerts out of my house. And
cool.
Yeah, and but it'll be like just people randomly coming over, like surprise guests, instead of like I'm planning on having these people, you know, and my goal is to kind of freak people out with it, for lack of a better term. And
I love it.
Yeah, and so like essentially, like if you ever fail at a project, does that impact like your mental health or anything like that, or like?
Yes.
Like, do you feel like you're your own worst critic?
Yes, I'm a perfectionist when it comes to our work. So it's hard because Ryan does a lot of the building, like, you know, he builds a table, or we do a lot of like custom built in like cabinetry. So we're great at that. It's the paint and like making sure that like everything is perfect. So if I leave a project and we've done our absolute best, but
it's okay. Don't worry about the dog. All right, you're good.
Ryan. Sorry.
No, it's okay. You got it.
It's sunny and beautiful. Not really beautiful yet, but the dogs wanted to go out.
They got to do what they want.
Yeah. So if we do a project and we've done our absolute best that we could, we, you know, did everything that we could. And if there's, you know, normally the client doesn't notice. If there's something that I notice and it bothers me that we can't fix it, where if it's like a little piece of, you know, paint or, you know, whatever it may be. I obsess over it and I get anxiety over it. I get nervous to see the client, just because I'm not good with confrontation, and it's most likely not even going to be a confrontation. So it's hard, knowing that we're the ones behind the business and everything has to be perfect. You know, like it would be one thing if we were doing a flip house and we got to do everything how we wanted. And, you know,
like if it was like for you and Ryan.
Yeah. And then someone comes in and they say, oh, we want to buy this flip house. Sweet. Then you're done with it. You know what I mean? Like with our business, it's hard because I just want everybody to be happy. And I don't know. I'm such a people pleaser, and
you are,
you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like, it gives you a lot of anxiety. Gives me a lot of anxiety just cause I want everything to be perfect 100%, 110%. And if there's something in my head where I'm like, oh, this could have been a little bit better, when it's done, I just spin.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, people don't understand with anxiety is, like, in our head, I mean, I don't know if it's in our head or our heart, but, you know, it's like, it's a battle, it's a duality between, like,
am I good enough?
Right. Am I good enough, or am I not good enough? And it seems like the not good enough kind of just beats the am I good enough part down, you know? And that's kind of, you know, that's kind of what I experience sometimes with my anxiety is, just like, did I say the right thing to that student in my day job, you know? And I teach special needs kids by day, and I'm a full-time special education teacher. And did I do everything according to what the IEP says and all that stuff, and but how do you cope through it? Like, do you use like your TikTok as like as a coping mechanism, or like do you do yoga or meditation? Or
I feel like I mean, obviously I think that I never in a million years ever thought, like, I thought TikTok was a kid thing. Like, I remember years ago, my niece had it and she would do videos and I was like secretly really, really wanting to do them with her. But I didn't want to be like that nerdy adult that was like, had nothing better to do with her time and like doesn't have any girlfriends to go hang out with and have drinks with, rather than sitting at home making dance TikToks. And then it became this thing during the pandemic. And I don't know, it's like all my goal in life is trying to make people laugh, because I feel like when I'm in these situations where I'm just so stressed out and work is overwhelming and, you're busy and you're trying to separate your business life with your personal life, but it's hard, like our relationship. And it's such a nice outlet, because it's like you forget about all of this shit that's hanging on your head all day long. And for 1 minute of my time, well, they take a lot longer than a minute.
Yes, they do.
But just for that small amount of time, like I get so much joy and happiness if someone comments on a TikTok video that I made and says, "Oh my gosh, you are so hilarious." Like, it's the validation that I've always wanted and that I've always dreamt of having. Mm-hmm. So the fact that all of a sudden I do have a bunch of followers on there over the span of a few days, it's like a happy, overwhelming feeling that I get, because like that's, if someone's having a bad day and they see one of my dumb videos where I'm, in a blonde wig and I'm dressed up like Stuart from Mad TV, like I would love it if someone got a little bit of happiness out of my expense of looking like a clown.
Yeah, and that is the beautiful thing about TikTok. Like, and that's where I see like Facebook is dying, because Facebook is just this toxic cesspool of shit. And and Instagram, I feel like it's kind of become the thing of the past a little bit too. But TikTok, it's just so creative what people come up with, and I hardly see anything that's toxic on TikTok, and it's just people being goofy, and even like the crappy videos I post, I do like a lot of on this day in music history, and they get a few hundred views. It's just like, they are the shittiest looking videos. And, and I mean, I spend literally 3 minutes doing them, and I'm like, wow, this got 600 views. And one I did got 4,000 views. And the one I got 4,000 views was basically an old Barry White song when he was a composer. And, and like, you couldn't see the font hardly because I didn't, match it up the color scheme or anything like that. And but I'm like, why is everybody liking this?
It's a learning curve for sure.
Tell me about it.
us old millennials don't know all of the tricks of the trades.
Yeah, and it's just so brilliant. And so like I plan on doing with mine. I'm gonna do a Minute of Madness reviews, and nice. I've already had bands reach out to me on it and stuff. And so I'm gonna start with one called the Vaughns, which is just like an indie rock group, and just react to it basically, and just try to do like an infomercial style, 1 minute or less, where I talk about the whole entire album. And so like, what do you do you have like, I feel like you have some type of theme to your TikTok videos. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but I know there's a combination. What's your theme to it?
Well, so I realized that like, because, there's the videos where you use someone else's sound and their voice and like something funny that they did, you can use it in your own way. I've realized that people like you more. Well, people like me in my videos more. And I feel like I get more attention, which is really cheesy to say, more attention.
Fair enough.
I feel like I get more traffic, if you will, when I'm being myself and I'm talking myself. So my theory is like, I would usually send like really stupid Snapchats to my girlfriends. A lot of them, I was on the toilet because that's when I feel like I'm the smartest for some reason.
Oh, deep thoughts,
Yeah. But like, I would, take a stupid Snapchat and I would send it to my friends. And if a few of them or a handful of them replied like, "Oh my gosh, you're so fucking funny," or whatever, then I'm like, okay, that was good. So I'll post it on TikTok. But there's a pattern of farts. People think farts are funny.
We're all 8-year-olds inside. See,
I mean, like Ryan farts and I laugh so hard because mine don't sound like that. So it's just like, it's funny because like the more videos I post about farting and like pooping and like just being myself and like real, people like it.
Right.
And all I want to do in the world is make people laugh. And it's so much easier for me to be myself and, not have that anxiety that you would normally get while you're on stage. Like you're in your own house, like you get to be yourself and not have to worry about people judging you until you post it. And then you don't have to worry about them judging you because it's already out there. And you're like, well, too late. So.
Yeah. And that's my advice for you is like, when you, get on that stage, you just be yourself. I mean,
yeah.
you're a very funny person and you're a very genuine person too. And I learned that too, like in my comedy. Second show, I freaking bombed. I tried storytelling and I'm like, why the hell did I do that? Because I forget half the details in the story.
See?
And everybody was looking at me like, what the hell is going on? And just the awkward silence. And I'm like, I'm just gonna keep going. I got a sympathy applause, but it's more like, I feel sorry for you, but you got through it, Then I opened a comedy festival in Clear Lake and like people were cracking up because that was my awkward anxiety.
Well, and people know you. People know you in Clear Lake. People are almost used to you and your humor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it takes some getting used to my humor too, and because I'm kind of an awkward person. And
aren't we all?
Oh, absolutely. And but that's my advice to you, just be yourself on that stage. And before we get back to TikTok, tell me about your favorite comedy experience.
Oh, with me on stage or just period?
With you on stage.
I mean, I don't know if I have a favorite yet. I've only been up there 3 times. The first time I went up there, I was very drunk.
Okay.
We went to, it's this comedy place right down the street, and they do an open mic. And the first time that I ever did open mic, or first time I ever went to open mic, you don't realize that it's not like a big crowd of people. You know what I mean? It's mostly just other comedians or people trying to be funny and like trying to see if their material is good. So the first couple times that I went and just watched, a lot of the people weren't that great. You know what I mean? And
sure.
So, and that's not me like bagging on anybody, but like, it's
sure.
hard. It's really hard.
It is.
So
it is the toughest thing.
And then there's people that go up there, that you've seen at last weekend, you saw at this place. Oh, and now you're seeing him at this place doing the same material, but changing it a little bit. So it's like, okay, you're learning things from people because I saw that guy last week. It's the same jokes, but they're a little different and people laughed harder this time. So when you said the awkward silence, that's bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad when you go up there and you're like, this one's going to kill. And then there's literally no noise. Awful.
It's like you literally hear the crickets or the record stop, like in a TV show. And it just, you're just standing there. You might as well just be standing there with your pants down, and.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, it's funny because then you can be like, okay, well, that was a terrible joke. Like you can make fun of yourself. But the first time I went up there, I was very drunk, which might have been my best time that I went up there. But I got caught in a joke and I was just circling in the joke. So, my favorite comedy experience, I mean, I've had a few. I've met a handful of comedians when I lived in Arizona at the Tempe Improv. It's such a small venue that a lot of them did meet and greets all the time. I recently met Joe Coy, which was amazing. He just snatched my phone out of my hand and started taking video of me and Ryan with him. And he was talking like a excited girl. That's awesome. Fun. I met Dane Cook, which was amazing. He was in Arizona he did a big stadium, Vicious Circle tour.
Oh, nice.
And I was third row. So it was amazing, but I did a meet and greet. It was funny. It was my turn, I was like the third to the last person that got to meet him. And he gets up there I get up there and he signs my ticket and he was like, "Hi, I'm Dane." And he went to shake my hand and I started laughing. And I was like, "I know who you are." I'm like, "Why did you introduce yourself to me? Like, I'm supposed to be introducing myself to you. Like, hi, I'm Dane." Obviously I know who you are. But I saw Mike Epps at the Tempe Improv as well, and I was in the front row.
Oh, he's genius.
And I had to get up and pee in the middle of the show, and I'm in the front row.
Dude, no way.
So he and there's speakers in the bathroom, so you can still hear what they're saying on stage while you're in the bathroom. And so I got up and I had to excuse me, and he started talking about me. "Hey, excuse me, where are you going? Where are you going? Hey, white girl, where are you going?" That's
a Mike Epps thing. Yep.
Yeah. While I was in the bathroom, he was talking about how it was going to be when I sat on the toilet because I didn't have an ass. And he sat on the...
No kidding.
Yeah,
wow.
He sat on the stool that's up on the stage and he was like sliding off it like he was melting. And he was like laying on the floor and he's like, "White girls ain't got no ass." So I'm in the bathroom, like peeing, like crying, laughing, super embarrassed that I have to now walk back out to the crowd who was talking about my white girl booty. So that was a pretty fun experience. Then I got my photo taken with him afterwards, and he was like, "I'm so sorry. It was just a joke. Like, I hope you didn't take any offense to it." I'm like, "No."
Oh, that's absolutely hysterical. Like,
yeah.
That's I've kind of learned how to heckle people a little bit on stage, and I don't know. But the thing is, I try not to be hurtful when I do it. It's just like something I might notice. Like, I usually start off like, "Hey, this is me. You might know me from Revenge of the Nerds, because everybody says I look like Booger from Revenge of the Nerds, and
you do,
yeah." So,
it's good that you can embrace that.
What's that?
It's good that you can embrace that.
Yeah, and that's my humor. Is I have self-deprecating humor down to a science. I make fun of myself, and like when I get like really nervous up there, and I just start laughing nervously. Like, somebody actually compared me to. Have you heard of Stephen Wright?
Who?
Stephen Wright.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Like, he is super deadpan. He just does one-liners, and that's my humor, is like one-liners, or I call them 1.5 liners. And and usually for me in the storytelling, like it's more like not the punchline, but it's like me giving details of the story. Then I completely forget the punchline, which
it's hard.
Yeah, and but people laugh when I forget the punchline, because it's like my routine is sometimes I troll them because they're expecting this big thing, and they're like, and then they just throw up their hands like, and then of course I throw my teacher dad jokes in there too, and
well, those are probably the best.
Oh yeah, and but I completely lost my train of thought, and that's the beauty of podcasting. But
that's all right.
But it's kind of. I really have lost my train of thought here.
That's
what
okay.
was I saying?
You can edit that part out.
What was I saying?
You asked about going up on what was my favorite comedy experience. You said you like to heckle people.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And, here's a part that they told me, like, somebody actually came up to me and said, like, it was like Stephen Wright going through an anxiety attack, and I couldn't have asked for a better compliment than that. It was pretty awesome. So
I had visitors in town one time when I went, and it was not a planned thing. Like I did not know that I was going to go up on stage. I knew that they were coming into town, and last second, like that morning, I woke up and I was like, I want to go do open mic tonight. Hey guys, by the way, when you come to town, we're going to go to my open mic. You're going to see me completely bomb on stage. So, it's great having people that you know there, but it's also really nerve-wracking. And then afterwards, it was a lot of critiquing on their part. And I didn't ask them to critique me, which obviously, like, it's your friends. Like, you should be able to, you know, take in what they're saying. But it was my second time up there, and I still don't really know what I'm doing up there, and if I should be reading from a notebook or my phone, or if I should drink before, or if I shouldn't drink before, you know what I mean? Like, I'm still getting my footing in it. And it was my friend's husband, who I don't really know that well. And he was like, maybe do this, and maybe you could say this, and, you know, don't say that. And, you know, it was more than I wanted. And I'm also very sensitive, and I get my feelings hurt very easy. So,
oh, do you?
Yeah. So it's hard for me not to take things personal. So in my head, I was like, so what was the good things about what I went up and said? Like, it was never anything good or positive critiquing. So I think that as someone that is trying to be a comedian, I have to be a little bit stronger. And that's where probably my mental health comes into play, just because I get so in my head, like, I shouldn't be doing this. I didn't nail it the first 3 times I did it. And I'm not a perfectionist, and I'm not getting big off of it right away. And, you know, people aren't knocking on my door to sign me to make an album. You know, it's just, I'm my worst critic, and sometimes it's hard to not be.
Oh, yeah, that's for me as well. Like, it really took me pretty much everything to just go up to people and be like, hey, what do I need to work on? You know, and all that. So, and I remember doing a show with Kelly. Like, I went up there with like no preparation, and she was just like, you're coming to Cedar Falls, you need to do be in front of a new audience. And I said, I'm not ready. And she's like, you need to be up there anyways. And so I was thinking,
are you ever ready? Like, you kind of just have to throw yourself into it to know, you know, like, how ready you are and like what you need to work on.
Oh, exactly. And then she just like raked me to the coals, so to speak. And at first I was just like, wow, I really sucked at this. But then at the end, she told me, Matt, if you are you're going to kill it up there. And that changed my perspective forever. Like, I thought I had to have this persona and stuff like that, and stuff like that. So that's why that's why your TikTok is awesome. That's why you have potential as stand-up comedy, because, you know, you are you, and you've always been that way from when I've known you, and that's what I've always admired about you, so to speak. You know, and
Ryan's over there looking at me, going,
yeah, you know, and
it's hard because like the video I posted about to Jenny McCarthy, I was like nervous because, and this is almost every video where I'm like putting myself out there and making myself look goofy, and like, I don't have makeup on, or my hair isn't perfect, or I'm not wearing something that's flattering, or, you know, like, I'm on there most of the time not to like look my best, but just to make people laugh, you know, but then I get nervous because I have friends who are on there that can be judgy, and they would never be judgy to my face or like say it to me. Like,
usually
holy
people,
shit, you are an idiot. You look so dumb. You took a video of yourself taking a shit on the toilet. Like, you really posted yourself sitting on the toilet, which obviously, like, you can't see my legs, but I'm on the toilet. Like, it's just like, I get so much anxiety thinking that people are going to be looking at me in a bad light and in a bad way, thinking like, you're too much. Like, I can't handle you. And there's people that have commented, oh my gosh, I feel so sorry for your fiance and having to put up with you and things like that, obviously. Like, and then I have to go to him and be like, am I too much for you? I'm sorry. Do I embarrass you? And he's like, yeah, you do embarrass me, but that's why I love you. Like, you are yourself and you don't care, which I do. I care a lot about what other people think about me. But I think that just having to like push that under the rug and like hold that anxiety down and making myself look like an ass to make other people laugh is kind of what I want to do,
Yeah. And you're great at making people laugh. And I'm so intrigued that you talked to my high school star crush, Jenny McCarthy. Like, I remember like watching that Singled Out show on MTV and just like, practically, it was like a Homer Simpson drool every time she was on TV. Like, oh,
because she's like, so real.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I mean, it's not, she's obviously a very beautiful person, but
she's a babe.
Yeah, but she has an incredible personality, and I'm not gonna go there politically with her on there, but because we'll leave that at that. But like, why Jenny McCarthy of all the Hollywood starlets in the world?
So backstory, we're getting married in October, and I have a bridal shower and bachelorette party planned in May in Arizona. And being a smaller frame but naturally busty woman, it's sometimes, all the time, hard to find clothes. I mean, obviously, like, shirts and stuff are fine, but like dresses and swimsuits and other things, it's hard to shop for. It's hard to find things that fit you the way that they should fit, because you don't have the typical stick figure, small frame, not curvy, that they have, like all of the models and all the clothes and stuff. Anyway, so I was frustrated that day that I made that video because I had to return a dress I'd bought online for my bridal shower bachelorette party. And when I went to return it to the mall, they said it was non-refundable. So I said, it was a dress and a skirt.
Is it not refundable because of COVID, or just as it always?
No, because it was on sale, and I didn't realize that it was non-refundable. Otherwise, it's because you're shopping online. I'm like taking a risk. So anyways, the dress didn't fit. They wouldn't return it, refund it. So I said, great. So I have a dress and a skirt that doesn't fit me, that is mine now. And they're like, yeah, sorry. So I got in my car. I was pissed. I was frustrated. I was trying to shop for other dresses. I couldn't find anything. I went and sat in my car, ate lunch. And in my head, I was like, it would be really fucking nice to be a celebrity, because they have all the tricks of the trade and all the straps and tape and glue and whatever, and, designer clothes that are made specifically for your size. And, it would be really nice to have that luxury of not having to worry about what is going to fit you. And so I was like, who could I reach out to as a total joke? And I follow Jenny McCarthy on TikTok, and I love her. I think she's amazing. And I live in the Chicago suburbs, and so does she.
Oh, she lives in Chicago now? Or the suburbs?
Yeah, she lives in the suburbs.
Okay.
More expensive suburbs than me, which is fine. It's fine. And we are doing a flip house in the town that she lives in. So in my head, I was like, I mean, I'm already going to be in her town anyways. So I made that video saying, hey, Jenny, you want to borrow me some of your clothes? You got a dress I can wear? And I didn't expect people to like tag her in it like they did. By the end, so I posted it Tuesday at like, I don't know, 3:30 maybe. And by like 8:00 that night, it had only had like, I don't know, 300 views on it. And those 300 people, a bunch of them had tagged her. Well, then it slowly started catching up momentum. And by the end of the night, by like, I don't know, 10:30, 11:00, it was at like 2,500 people. And then she commented back saying, I've got the same problem with my boobs, finding dresses that fit me for the Masked Singer. She's like, let me check and see what I got. Be right back. And I didn't even tell Ryan about it. Like, he's not on TikTok, you know, when I'm like, look at this stupid video I made. He's like, cool. I'm going to get like 200 views on it. And then, so all of a sudden that night, I get a notification, and I literally was like laughing. Like just completely in shock. And I couldn't even believe it. And I was like, oh my gosh. Ryan's like, what are you freaking out about? And I was like, okay, I made this really dumb video today being frustrated about my body, and okay, just watch it. And then he watched it, and I was like, and she replied. I was like, holy moly. So yeah. And then people started following, saying, oh my gosh, I'm totally here for this friendship. This is the best TikTok video I've ever seen. Like, normalize, you know, normal people, asking celebrities to borrow their clothes, and like all the people were saying, like, if there was anybody to help you out, it would totally be Jenny. Midwest is best. And, you know, so, and it's funny because our friends who, bought the flip house that we're flipping, they go to Mark Wahlberg's new gym up where they live. So there's like these little gateways of us being friends that are like secretly there. We were at a client's house yesterday, and she said that she knows a guy that used to date Jenny in like 2010.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, we're totally meant to be friends. Like, all of these stars are aligning.
Absolutely. And
yeah,
it's just so amazing how like TikTok works. Like on Instagram, I posted, I did what I did for a while. Then I lost traction. I reviewed albums every day commemorating Black History Month, but I would pick like the most obscure records. And I picked Ray Charles's posthumous record. I can't think of the title of it right now, but he collabed with a bunch of artists, and James Taylor was one of them. And the picture I posted only had 11 likes, but James Taylor like commented on it. I was like, I about fell out of my chair. I'm like, freaking James Taylor,
that's
legendary
amazing.
singers. He's like one of the most legendary singer-songwriters. And he just commented a couple emojis, but I'm just like, oh my God.
So what?
I'm like, oh my God.
Saw my video? Or
Yeah,
my post?
and my post only has 11 likes. Because I like Instagram, I can't figure out for the life of me, but TikTok.
And that's the thing, they're also different.
Yeah.
It's like, I've been on TikTok for, I just hit my year mark. And for the longest time, I only had like 3,000 followers. And then I started posting videos about pooping and farting. And it got up to like 7 or 8. And then the whole Jenny McCarthy thing happened. And now I'm a somebody.
Yeah, you are, you know, you're like, seriously, you're going viral and all that. So, and
I would rather be going viral for the drawers thing than the Jenny thing. But at the same time, I'm not complaining. There isn't a dress yet, but at the same time, I'm just like, she's following me on TikTok now. She's commented on 3 of my videos. So she told me she likes me.
But in turn, like with the Jenny McCarthy thing, that'll bring more attention to the Fill the Drawers thing, you know?
Yeah. And it's weird. Well, I shouldn't say it's weird because, you know, the whole secret of TikTok and how to get your video out there for more people to see is the hashtags that you're hashtagging.
FYP.
And so, FYP. So I had every post that I had about the Fill the Drawers project only had like 300 views on it when all of the other ones had, you know, 2,000 or whatever. And I'm like, why is nobody watching these videos? Like, obviously I don't have great camera angle. Like, they're not perfect videos, but I have had a few donations from TikTok for the Fill the Drawers, which is nice. There was one guy who, the last time I did it, he donated $100.
That's awesome.
And he commented, cause you can leave a comment on Venmo. He commented and said, I think what you're doing is really great. My mom was a homeless single mom when she had me. And he said, it wouldn't have been if it wouldn't have been for the generosity and the kindness of others and strangers to help get her through, I don't know what would have happened.
Yeah. And that's the main reason why I brought you on is because I'm very inspired by that story. And I get extremely inspired when people just do for others, and because I've been taught from that from day one. And the Fill the Drawers thing, did that conceptualize like from your work with Edgehill Designs, or like what came to fruition because of that?
Well, I was in Goodwill one day and I saw this old dresser, and we've done things where, we find something and we fix it up, or someone says, hey, can you make this pretty again? Like, anything is possible if you know what you're working with. So I saw this dresser and it was $10 at Goodwill, and I brought it home. And in my head, the whole point of me buying it was to buy it, fix it up, and then sell it. I'm like, this is $10. I can at least sell this for like $150 if I make it really beautiful. So I was fixing it up and I was going through it. And while I was working on it, in the garage, I always work on them by myself unless I need Ryan's help doing something that I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in there and I'm thinking about it. And when I lived in Arizona, I moved there a week after I graduated high school, and I was out there by myself. So I didn't have everything that I needed to have when I was by myself. So I had my own apartment. And, I had a couch and a TV and a table and a bed. Mm-hmm. And for like 12 years, I never had a dresser. And I all of my underwear, my socks and scarves and stuff like that, I always kept them in laundry baskets. And so while I was in the garage working on this, I was like, it's really not that big of a deal if you think about it to not have a dresser if it's just you. And then I started thinking about it and I was like, I can't imagine what it would be like to try and have a kid and like all of the stuff that a baby needs, a newborn, with no dresser. And so I was like, what if I fixed it up and just donated it to someone that doesn't have one and that needs it? Because in my head, I was like, I didn't have a dresser. I didn't make a big deal about it. Mm-hmm. And so I just posted on Facebook, hey, on the Bolingbrook Friends page here in town, is there anybody that knows of a young expecting mom that that could use a dresser? And I wanted to do it for, I wanted to do it originally. I didn't even have the idea of filling the drawers with anything. So this woman had reached out to me and said, my granddaughter, is a really hardworking young woman, and she is going to be a single mom, and she could use a dresser. And so I fixed it up. I went and I donated it to her, and the grandma invited me to her baby shower. And I didn't go. I didn't want to take any attention away from her. It was her day. I didn't want the grandma to be like, oh my gosh, look, this is the woman who, fixed up this dresser. Like, I didn't want zero attention on me. So I just bought something from her gift registry, and her grandma went and picked it up. So I posted about it on my Facebook page, and two of my girlfriends, Allie Gross.
Okay, I remember.
And a girlfriend here in town, they were like, please give me her baby shower information. I would love to buy her something from her registry and send it to her. So then Ryan got the idea. It was Ryan's idea. He said, what if you did this again and you put the word out there, like everybody loved the idea. Everybody was so blown away from the generosity. Like, I'm like, it's really, it to me, like everyone's like, oh my gosh, you're amazing. And I'm like, I'm just donating a dresser. Like everybody's donations then started coming in. I put the word out there. Someone had sent me Venmo money and they put hashtag let's fill these drawers. And so that's where fill the drawers came from. And it's been really, really rewarding. And I wouldn't be able to do it without everybody who's donated and shared my videos. I felt like I wasn't doing enough to give back to the community. And, like I don't want any of the attention on myself rather than let's just fill these drawers and get it to a woman who needs it, because there's a lot of women out there who get left to raise children by themselves, and any amount of help, whether, this will be the second dresser that I'm actually filling. The first one went to that young mom, and then I filled another one. That was the one I filled, and I had like $300 worth of stuff in there. From diapers to like organic bottles and baby wipes. And I put books in there. My favorite book is Where the Sidewalk Ends. Oh, so every dresser I do, I'm going to buy that book and put that book in there, because I think that children need imaginations, and that book is perfect for that.
I recently read that book a couple years ago, and it brought tears to my eyes.
Oh, good. Right? Yeah, it's so good.
I don't know what it is about the magic of Shel Silverstein, but there is an art behind writing children's books. It's not having these simple sentences or anything like that. It's building this imagination for the kids. Books. Yeah, very thick books. And I was gonna say, how can people donate to this cause? To your Venmo, for our listeners.
So I want to make this a nonprofit. I haven't gotten to that stage. It wasn't until this time that I was flipping this dresser where I got a very generous amount of donations. So I think that if I kept doing this, it's very passionate to me, it's just a small way for me to give back and try and inspire people to do the same. So, but yeah, people can send me donations through Venmo, which is MARCI dash, not the lower dash, but the middle dash. Okay. WHITEHURST. And then my PayPal is my email, marcelinlouise@gmail.com.
Okay.
And
can you say your PayPal again?
Yeah, it's Marcelin, MARCILYN, Louise, LOUISE, at gmail.com.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And all of that money, like I said, goes towards, baby clothes and bottles and the pacifiers and wraps, swaddles. And I got one of those water mats. I don't know if I'm not a mom yet, so I don't know all the technical terms for everything.
What is the water mat supposed to do?
It's senses. It trigger it. It's
it's for sensory.
So it's almost like a waterbed, but like a thinner version. And there's like glitter and stars and stuff like that. So they hit the mat and they move. So it like triggers all their senses. I shouldn't say all their senses. I don't know.
It'd be funny if it created like their sixth sense, and all of a sudden the first words are like, "I see dead people." Yeah, right. I think that'd be hilarious. So it's marcelinlouise@gmail.com. Madness Creation is going to make a $50 donation.
Oh my gosh, you're so amazing! That's so sweet.
Yeah. So check your PayPal.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be. It's in there. I can show it to you. So.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And it's got to feel good from a mental health standpoint to do for others. and how else could you encourage people to help like single moms, since that seems to be the heart of your mission?
I have friends that are single moms, and I've experienced, I shouldn't say I've experienced, but I've witnessed how hard it can be. Like I can't imagine trying to have a child on my own. Yeah. And so I think that, you can find places in your area to donate. They have food drives, clothing drives. They have women's shelters that you can go and donate to. I know that in my area, I'm going to reach out. I've tried reaching out to this company or organization around here, who house single women with children, who are trying to get back on their feet. They didn't have anybody at the time to take the dresser, but I know they have organizations in a lot of cities where they house single women with their children and get them on their feet. Sometimes they have like apartments that are set up. And so, I think it's really important. Women are the ones that give birth and carry the baby. And it's hard. I know it's hard when it's just you by yourself, especially young women.
Yeah. And as long as I've known you, you've always been a champion for women's rights and stuff like that. So, I was going to say, like, on behalf of the website, I would love to set something up. I don't know. Be honest with you, I don't know what it would look like or anything like that. Okay. But it would be just something like, I just feel it on my heart to kind of help out, like whether it's like for Black Lives Matter or like fill the drawers or anything like that. And all that stuff. So, it's just incredible work that you're doing, and you should be super proud of yourself. So
thanks, Maddie.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, where can people find you on TikTok so get some more followers?
So my TikTok is just MARCI WHITEHURST.
No underscores or anything like that? Or
nope, just MARCI WHITEHURST.
And I better let them know that's Marcy with an I. So
yep, Marcy with an I.
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate you taking the time to get the word out there about Edgehill Designs and Fill the Drawers and my TikTok.
Yeah, absolutely. And Marcy, this has been so much fun. And I know that you and Ryan got a trip planned to our hometown for his sister's wedding. So I better let you go so you can do that. So, and just for our listeners, please like, comment, subscribe. You can find Madness Creation on Spotify, Spreaker, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Geo7 out of India, and Podchaser, Podcast Addict. So also just remember to keep on keeping on with your mental health. So Marcy, thank you so much.
No problem, Maddie. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too. And I will send you a link when it goes live. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Bye.
See you later.